location.
All right. I'm live on StreamYard. Welcome. Welcome to Rick's Life as I See It. And what was I going to say? Totally threw me out because I was sitting here all by myself. But one of my panelists has shown up at last. So I'm waiting for a few people to get in here before I do anything. So how you doing, New York Outcast?
Doing all right. A little tired, but it's midway through the week, I guess, for most people.
It definitely is. It's Raphael's showing up in the chat too. So I'm people starting to show up. Then I'll get going. Really, I wish they did. I wish there was a way around this sort of like delay with YouTube. But I ain't figured out how to get around it yet. But because YouTube doesn't actually, you can record and post stuff, but they don't actually have a streaming service, do they? Like this? I don't think they do.
Yeah, don't think so. Like this, I know they have a live feature, so that would probably count as streaming.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I think that is streaming. So yeah.
Yeah, but how come?
But it's not like this.
Why doesn't anybody use it?
I think people do. I've used it in the past, but every time I do a live somewhere, it seems to come out shitty. So unless I'm doing it from my PC, but
yeah,
I
have to look into that. I mean, I was just trying to figure out a way to get around that lag, but I'm not that big, so it really doesn't matter.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. So anyway. There's a very slow night tonight. So what can you say? It's a new well, it's a second. Every second matters. If you're able, did you wear your gun open today? Isn't that how that all started? Every second matters. It was meant for you to go carry open if you're allowed in your state, and to be a talking point. But that's today. Well, I carried open.
Yeah,
and be honest with you, and I forgot it was the second, but I was carrying open anyway, and it was only because my shirt had rose up and it caught behind the grip, so my gun was showing. But in this state, it don't matter. Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't carry open because it's illegal in New York State. But to my knowledge, it was basically just to bring attention to the second. So, which could be done in many forms. Obviously, open carry. Could be a shirt.
I guess that was a way for people who were allowed to could do it.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, that could be part of it as well, but I don't think it was just based on carrying in a sense. So obviously, if you support it, then that's a great way to maybe strike up a conversation. I don't know. I know when I've been in other states open carrying, unless it was a rally or something, most people just stay away from me, so they don't really start talking much. But it's been my experience, so I don't know. Once in a while you get a strange look, but nobody says nothing. So
what you call it? Your microphone's picking me up, isn't it? Or your
Yep.
I can hear back feed on there. But I mean, that's I've noticed talking about that. Even if like you're at the gas station or in the store and a cop walks in, right? People always, even though everybody knows cops carry a gun. People just stare at it. I think they're just fascinated by it. I guess I don't know.
Eh,
I've noticed that.
yeah, I think that's just people's brainwashing and, into an authority figure or something like that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that's probably why. It's like the teacher shows up in class or something. I don't know. I
Well,
don't
see,
think everybody has that response, but I do agree that I think a lot of people do. So
yeah, but what was I going to say? The problem is I'm not a police worshiper or anything like that. But that is a lot of problem with today. People don't show them respect. I'm not saying it's just in my day, mind you, in my day, a cop was allowed to smack you on the back of the head if you misbehave. Today you're getting fired and sued and be set for life.
yeah, I think a lot's changed though. I'm not 100% for or 100% against. If I had to, pick something, then I would like there to be police officers. I think we need less in some places and more in others. And, training may be questionable in some areas, but I got no problem with good cops. My
Yeah,
issue to people that are power tripping and all that type of stuff that abuse the power. And that's, one thing I think those people forget is the power they have is granted by us, the public. So, are supposed to be in a sense. So now a lot of this is turning into like a private enforcer unit, basically. Um, Except for when you speak to like the sheriffs and whatnot, which are constitutionally covered or what. But basically it's I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying. So
yeah,
basically, yeah, I'm not against cops. But I really got a distaste for bad cops. I really got a distaste for bad anything in power of authority because you're the person that people are supposed to be going to for help or look up to. So I think you should be made the highest example of, like, dragged out in the street and
hmm
killed in front of everybody.
yeah. Abigail in the chat says, "I don't trust anyone in government."
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, I didn't say I would trust anybody or any
Yeah,
really, but that there it's cops have changed over the years. You were
yeah.
speaking in
Well,
your day,
they are. I
like
mean, they're
in
different to
your
when I was a cop too. I
yeah,
mean, when I
in
was
your
a cop.
day
I mean, when I was a kid,
or
cop.
kid, yeah.
It was different.
Cop might smack you up, tell you to stop it, and you would stop and go about your business. You didn't get
Yeah,
thrown in the pins and juvie and all this other stuff and have a
yeah.
record created and
Had
all.
a have a knee put on your neck. You know.
Well, well, some people need an ass whooping. That's really part of the problem with society, in
Yeah,
my opinion. They've never been, punched in the face, per se, metaphorically or even,
yeah,
literally. So they don't know, and that's why they go around thinking they're special. So
yeah,
that's a lot of the problem with things these days.
yeah. Abigail says, "I don't care what costume they wear." Also, a lot of cops where I live act like they are above the law. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
and that's the problem of today.
yeah,
Is the cops today have a different attitude when I was a kid.
hmm
You know. Now, is it? I mean, it might be. You know, uh, as growing up, I I don't know if respect is the right word, but when if a cop spoke to me, I would listen to him. Right today, the cop speaks, people just keep on walking. Who cares what you say? So the cop then gets more aggressive. That it's sort of like we're all of us are making it worse than what it needs to be. And I don't know how to get it back to the way it used to be, or will it ever get back to the way it used to be?
No idea, but
No, I don't.
I would say, yeah, the way I see it, the way it was explained, all the, an officer is just a regular civilian on duty on a job. So yeah, when he clocks out, it's basically
Yeah,
it. He isn't anything. He or she isn't anything special in a
no,
sense. So the power that they have is granted by the public. We allow them to do that to us, you could state, as a whole. And just the respect goes both ways. When somebody stops and they're decent about it and not assholes, not coming up like he just robbed the bank and all this bullshit because of a tail light or something. It usually goes a lot better than when
oh, yeah,
people
it
come
does.
in being an asshole. Like, so, you
I
know,
mean,
if they didn't start off like an asshole, the average person wouldn't feel, you know,
I mean, you got a
it-
good point. You got a good point. If they act civil to you, or like if I get pulled over and they're civil, you're going to be civil back. If they're being an asshole, you want to be an asshole back to them.
yeah. And
But
sometimes
then
people slip up
that's
and
where
then
the
they use
trouble
that
starts.
as an excuse. Yeah. And it escalates from there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I
But
mean, my advice is don't argue with the cop.
yeah,
Don't,
exactly.
no matter what, you can if you're rich, you want to be one of these citizen, whatever. If I guess if you want to get slammed around, thrown in jail, and all this stuff, but make a name on YouTube or whatever, I don't know, I guess. But the way it's worked best for me is I'll go argue with the judge politely. But I'm not going to argue on the side of the road with the cop because it only gets worse at that point. So
Yeah, oh yeah, it
yeah,
does.
be respectful in court and this and that. The majority of issues I've had were actually dropped at court because I was able to explain it, and even the judge thought it was sounded like bullshit. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, you know, and the way I mean, society in general get all. I mean, I don't want to sound bad, but if you've done something wrong that warrants a policeman to pull a firearm on you, and you run, and he says stop, police, and you keep running, it's your own fault if you get shot. You know what I'm saying? But people get all worked up over it. Well, if you had stopped when he told you to stop, you wouldn't have been shot. Or is that being too black and white on it? Or you think there's more to it than that?
I don't know really. I mean, if somebody stole a candy bar and cop pulls a gun on them and they take off out the back door, they should get shot. I mean,
No, I don't.
I know what you're saying. I'm just throwing something out there. Like,
Yeah.
I think, at least in my state, if you witness a felony, a violent felony, and you believe they're going to commit another violent felony, then you're supposed to take them down. Even as a witness or whatever. Or that's basically how it's explained. So you not you're supposed to, but you legally can fire on that individual as a citizen, not even a police officer. Basically, they beat somebody half to death with a bat, and then they go after another person. You can legally stop them. Uh, if they were trying to run off down the street chasing somebody else or whatever. So I would assume that would apply over in the law enforcement, but law enforcement is probably different in different areas
Yeah.
too. So it's hard to say. So I know, you know, a fly can fart and most of them are scared for their life and pull a trigger. So I don't know. You know what I mean? So they probably gonna be covered either way, which is more bullshit, I think. So personally.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel they should have the same rules we got, if that makes any sense. Yeah, what I mean, like it's not any
Yeah.
nothing special. You got no special treatment if you're involved in something. You know, if you don't want to take a job where you're gonna have to uh, defend all your actions on the clock. You know, every hour on the clock, then don't take that job. You know, that's just what it is. You shouldn't be covered with any of this immunity shit or 72 hours before you got to make a statement and everything. We don't get all that shit.
Well, we should be able to get 72 hours too.
Well, you know, whatever, one way or the other, but
Yeah.
it should be fair because you are a United States citizen that has a job, employment, and that employment empowers you to have this power during this time. You know what I mean? So you're nothing. You're just another employee on the street, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't understand
That's
what
right.
the deal.
Oh yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And it's like the same thing with the canines, where they want to put you on. You know, you kick a dog and it's assault on an officer. I'm sorry, but that's just a dog, man. And I don't mean just a dog as in it's just a dog, but it should be as if you kick your neighbor's dog, not, you know, an officer charge on top. What are you talking about? Like that's like that hate crime shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you killed them because of what color they are. You killed them because, you know, I don't. They played the wrong music. Doesn't matter. You still killed them. It's still the same damn thing. So
Yeah.
save all the bullshit and call it what it is. It's still murder. You know, so it's like or still assault, whatever it may be, or battery on a canine, not battery on an officer canine. Like that, you know. I don't know. I don't know if you get what but yeah, I just, you know.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
I don't.
I do on that, you know. But Black Cat Outdoors, how you doing? Haven't seen you in yonks. He says, I'm sorry, you kicked my dog, and I'm going to definitely have my own charges when I get done with you.
Yeah, that's well within your right. You know what I mean? But there shouldn't be some extra government bullshit charge on top of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just find that ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just,
an individual has a right to self-defense. Okay,
Yeah.
you take off, the dog corners you by a fence, and it's chewing you up. It's only natural to strike back out at the dog. It's just only natural. You know. But yet people are going to catch a bunch of charges on top of whatever they're into for that. So
yeah, well, that's like
could have been nothing to begin with, and it was the wrong person, but the wrong person's still going to defend themselves when a dog's chewing the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So,
and you beat up the dog, and it's a police dog, and it's called.
Yeah, well, you may not beat it up, but you put some stripes on the dog, and now it's assault on an officer, and you're looking at years of imprisonment because
you insulted. You insulted Sergeant Cuddles.
Yeah, like that's just freaking ridiculous in my opinion. So
yeah, I agree with you. But anyway, I've done everything wrong today. I haven't even called out the people in the chat. But the first in was Tactical Fudd. Then Raphael, Abigail, Gizzard, Gary, Ron 2A Matters. We talked about that already. Then we got the Gun Snob. Who else we got in here? Then we got Black Cat Outdoors. See? Yeah. Oh, man, we got Chris from the 740. Oh, I am popular tonight. I'm getting the big dogs in here tonight. Then we got R-Tax in the house. So there we go. All right. So I'm back. I got through that so far. Then, of course, we got the lurkers. I have a question. Well, not a question. Well, yes and no. I mean, I'm not getting political, but what kind of statement was that last night when the wannabe vice president for the other side Waltz, is that his last name? Said, crime, got a gun crime. It's the gun. It can be just the gun. The gun's the problem. He didn't say an AR-15 assault weapon. He said the gun is the problem. That tells me they don't want to take our guns, but that's telling me they want to take our guns.
Yeah,
they can't specify what gun it is. I thought, what an idiot. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it.
No, you didn't. Well, I didn't either. I watched parts of it today during the day. I mean, I couldn't watch it too much. It just, I'd start watching it, then I would hear the crap. I mean, what you call it? It was another one of those 3-against-1 type things, but Vance did win that hands down, But it was 3-against-1, and he done a hell of a good job. So.
That's basically what you can expect. I mean, we all know these people that do these are biased, and it always comes out. So, I mean, there's nothing our crew in here doesn't know, in a sense, I would assume. So,
yeah, true.
So I don't even bother, because all it's going to do is piss me off and remind me of how stupid these people are, and they just can't answer a direct question. Like, none of them.
No, they can't.
Yeah, to me, that's all right. You're unqualified. You don't understand basic English. We've asked it 5 different ways. You can't answer the question. You should be disbarred from whatever the hell you're doing, because you don't, take your ass back to school, go get a medical eval, something. So, yeah, you're not competent.
Okay. Here's a good topic.
Competent to answer our general questions. So you got no business in your position.
You're right. You're right. And I'm staying away from politics, so we're moving on. It just dumbfounded me when he come out with that. It's the gun.
Typical.
Anyway, here's my question for you. What kind of shooter are you? I.e., when you go out to practice or train, whatever you do, are you more concerned about sort of like hitting center mass, or are you one of them pussyfied people that want to get every bullet through the same hole?
You said pussyfied people? That's kind of strong, man.
Yeah, it is. I just thought I was trying to get a conversation going in the chat and stuff,
I think it would be awesome to get every bullet through the same hole every time. I mean, who wouldn't want to?
Is that what you strive for?
No, I more on speed and minute a man. But I'm looking at just offensive, not sport shooting or
I'm not trying to get
bullseye shooting,
like quarter-inch groups. That kind of shooting doesn't interest me, because you said I'm thinking, I know all I do is plink in the backyard, but I'm aiming for center mass. So if that defensive use is ever needed, I'm only there to stop the threat. So I got to get it center mass to make them stop. So, look at this. Good evening, gentlemen and Rob. So you know who that is, right? That was in the chat.
Patriot in the dark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What's up, buddy? Yeah. I don't know. I guess, like you say, stop the threat. I mean, I would like to be able to deal with the hostage situation, to comfortably be able to take a shot within standard distances. But or that parking lot shot across the parking lot somewhere if you had to. That is a little harder depending on what you're carrying.
there's people in the chat saying about aim small, miss small. Maybe you can't hit the target. Now, when I say this, when I'm going center mass, I'm shooting at still targets, maybe 8 inches diameter at the most. And we're talking, I mean, I do anything from sort of like 10 yards up to 25 with a handgun. I can hit 8, to me, hitting center mass on an 8, hitting the 8-inch target at 25 yards tells me that I can put the bullet where I need to. You know? And even if I'm doing if I'm pulling out my rifle, long as I'm dinging the still, I'm happy. You know? As I said, it does every I'm not going for, 1/4-inch groups or whatever. I'm shooting to hit the target, no matter how big or how small it is. But I don't. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going for every bullet within an inch at 10 yards. When I'm shooting at it in center mass and I happen to get that, great. But that's not what I'm going for. I'm going to hit the center mass of somebody. And hitting center mass on me is not a 1/4-inch group. So maybe I'm not explaining it right.
I think I know what you're saying. So, I mean, you're more focused on like the triangle, the vital triangle or something. Yeah, and I guess there's different terms or
Yeah,
depending on the instructions or instructors, whatever. But yeah, I get what you're saying. There's targets set up for that as well. Obviously, probably people out there know, but yeah, so I understand what you're saying. So
yeah.
I get it. So that's
Now,
pretty much what I go for with handgun.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a bullseye shooter with a handgun. So
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if like if you're going deer hunting, you want to shoot the deer in the correct spot to drop them and not make them suffer. I understand that kind of shooting, but that's not what I'm talking about. I guess like you said, I'm talking defensive shooting.
it's usually a long gun too.
Yeah.
In most cases. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most legal cases. There may be some states you could do it with a handgun, I assume, but I don't know. But which is usually a little easier than a handgun. So yeah, and you were prepared. Yeah, well, maybe not prepared, but you're there. That's what you're there to do. And you're pumping gas. You weren't there to defend yourself. So it's a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. People in the chat are going quiet, so I guess they don't agree with me, or they said their piece and they're moving on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that aim small, miss small. It makes sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think The Patriot. I love that movie too. So yeah, but because I'm assuming where the quote came from, unless that movie stole it from somewhere else. But it does make sense, and yeah. So I can see people, with that whole pussified thing. You might have pissed somebody off out there.
Yeah, maybe. But it was done in a loving manner. I wasn't saying it nastily. I was trying to be funny, but it didn't come across that way. But that's okay. Life goes on. What else we got? As we talked, I know you had stuff happening outside last week, so you weren't involved in the chat so much, but I've decided to sell the Beretta S92S and put it towards my build that I'm going to do.
Okay. But
Well, I mean, that's all I'm going to talk about. Is I'm not going to go into a long conversation about it.
Like you're about to turn this into like a 3-time episode about this topic.
No.
I
I just
wouldn't
I
overdo
just
it.
tell you what I've been doing, and I decided to do that. So I'm doing that next week. So
Okay, I hope it works out.
I will more likely mention it again last week, whether I got a decent price for it or not. But that's gonna be about it. So, oh yeah, I know. I'm not gonna. I mean, it's one of these. I ain't gonna talk about it. I'm gonna move on.
Well, if you got progress, that's different. That's an update on the
Yeah, I
situation.
mean, as of
You don't
right
want to
now,
make every show about what you're thinking about doing on the same topic for the last 3 weeks. I think it is.
No, it's been 2. I talked about it a lot last week because I find it amazing.
He skipped a week, and I think you bring it up the week prior to that.
I don't know. I don't remember. But
off the show, and then he joined in the last 2 shows. So I think it's been like 3 weeks, over a month.
Has it? Oh, it's a big
Believe
decision.
so. Yeah, as soon as you bring it up, I was like, "Oh Jesus, here we go again." Yeah. That's how much it's been.
All right. Anyway, so let's see what's Tony says, aim small, miss small refers to choosing the target. Yeah, I understand the aim small, miss small. I understand that. But, aiming at an 8-inch steel target at 25 yards, to me, is aiming small with a handgun. I ain't talking long gun. I'm talking handgun. So, there we go. I'm trying to think what else has happened. Oh, did I tell you there was the family reunion I had to go to?
Believe so.
Yeah, I went to that.
How'd it go?
It went all right. Unfortunately, up here, we got the remnants of the hurricane. We got the rain and some little bit of wind. It rained up here for almost 2 days without stopping. And so a lot of people didn't show up because of the rain. I guess they didn't want to go out or whatever. The other thing I was gonna go to the old Equity Days parade. That got canceled because of the rain. So, so the highlight of the weekend was the family reunion. And my one of my relatives, I came for a visit here back in 1990. It was either 96 or 97. I can't really remember. I know it was one of those years. And they came up with a bunch of photos of me back then. And my ex-wife and stuff, and asked me if I wanted them. And I was polite and said, okay, I don't know about you, but I don't like looking at a photo of myself from 30, 40 years ago,
Why not?
What?
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't. That's like here. I try not to watch anything like video or rewatch these
shows.
Things. Yeah, because I don't like listening to myself. Not that I'm boring, which I am. I know that, but it's my voice that I don't like hearing. So that was the highlight of my whole weekend. unfortunately. It was very, I mean, but then I say unfortunately, I don't mind it being quiet. I like it nice and quiet. So
So
I
is
said,
there
I'm going, and what else has happened? Nothing. I'm trying to think what else has happened in town. Oh, the stripper that lives in town, she got arrested. You know,
what she arrested for?
hitting somebody's car with a rock.
That sounds like a stripper thing.
They got in. She got in an argument with one of her neighbors.
Okay. Now, you mean stripper, or are you being nice?
No, that's what that's what she does for a living.
Okay, so she works at a local club or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, those girls are known to be batshit crazy. So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, I, yeah,
yeah. So, Patriot in the Dark says, I absolutely refuse to look at pictures of myself.
I like looking at old pictures of myself. So I don't like looking at stuff like back in school or whatever, where you're like, oh my god, like why did I think that was cool? Like,
Yeah, well, that's what
that,
I mean.
you know,
Yeah,
just pictures of life, 10, 15 years ago. I got no problems with. Well, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh, I don't know. Looking at somebody who's younger, skinnier, wearing, outdated looking clothes, that type of thing,
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you look at old pictures like that, yeah, that'll be something.
Yeah. Oh well. So anyway, she got into a now that was a weird one. Right?
Uh,
I know who I mean, I don't know the stripper personally, but the person she got in a fight with, I know.
was it a male or female?
No, it was another female.
Okay.
And this is the way I hear it. She was asleep. This person I know, and she
Yeah.
has a couple of kids. Right now, normally her kids play with the stripper's kid. Right.
Okay.
Well, the person I know woke up from a nap, and her kids were missing. So she's in a panic. She comes outside, goes around, happens to see him over at this person's house, and starts yelling at the stripper. Should have sent her kids home and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, my argument is you shouldn't have fallen asleep on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's on your
right?
kid too. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the person who I know starts mouthing off at the stripper. The stripper said, F you, picked up a big rock out of her yard and threw it at her car. That's what happened, So, yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I guess it could have been a lot worse. So.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse, But I gotta feel. I think the actual. I haven't seen her for about a week or so. I don't know whether she's in jail or she's moving. She doesn't. I mean, everybody. I mean, a good example. A few months ago, she has a dog too. She's trying to. I mean, she doesn't flaunt herself. She doesn't walk around naked or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's got a kid. She has a dog, right? Well, the dog got out the other day. Well, it's a couple of months ago, and it was walking down the main road of the Bird's Eye, and it ain't Bird's Eye ain't much. Well, people, what gets it so bad is they do it on Facebook, right? And they're beating the hell out of her, but her not letting her dog run loose and all this kind of crap, right? Going on about it. And the dog was only loose for maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes. When she finally realized he had got out, she went and got him back, right? They went all batshit crazy on her for letting her dog loose. Well, just the other day, another dog was seen out, and somebody says, any idea who this dog is? They done this on Facebook. And of course, everybody starts saying, oh, yeah, I can't remember the dog's name. That's so and so. Oh, it's a lovely dog, friendly as hell. Just get it, and you can give it treats. It won't bite you. They're all friendly to this dog, about this dog, because it was her dog. It was hell on wheels. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they've been picking on.
To be fair, I can't say that. I guess this may not be 100% true, but to be fair, in my line of thinking, most people that are like attached to Facebook like that are girls anyway, or they're they're girl men or something. I don't know, but so it's girls don't like strippers like the average.
I think it's mainly the women in the town that call them the problem.
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you, they are.
I wouldn't be surprised she's moved or gonna move.
But this girl already knows that. She's living with a reputation in town, so a lot of girls just don't like that. Yeah, they don't want anything that their man might find attractive. Like I don't know. I can't speak for the girls, but
that's more than likely you're right.
There's just a natural thing with girls like that. So you're either a girl like that or you don't like girls like that. It's the way it usually breaks out. So I was gonna ask how old this stripper is.
She's getting to the end of her career.
Okay, so if you had to throw a number out there, what would you guess? 20s,
late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
For her age, she still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's she's already, she knows her reputation in town. Everybody knows it. And surprisingly, as much people like stick their nose up, there's probably a lot of people that actually like her in town too, but they don't say nothing publicly. For one reason or another. Even with females, not necessarily customers, but it's just the social. I can't think of the words for it.
Yeah, she's only lived here maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay,
so she's not from the town.
No. She moved in.
Well, that changes the
dynamic. When they found out what she did for a living, that's when the trouble started.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Guns and Barbecue. Strippers' lives matter. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I had no problems with her. I didn't know her, but she didn't cause me no trouble. So there we go. Anyway, I'm just trying to tell you what I'm trying to think what happened, but nothing. I like it. Maybe I'm getting, I don't know. I think I said this last week or the week before. I even had a doctor's appointment. Actually, I had to go get an X-ray, a chest X-ray. It's a yearly thing that the why they need it's the doctor. I'm trying to think. The one who does my sleep apnea. He once a year he wants this chest X-ray. It's not called that. It's called a lung something or another, but basically it's an X-ray is what it is. I canceled it, right? Because I didn't want to drive to Jasper. That's pitiful. I hate drive. I got to the point where, I just don't want to drive anywhere. I told you I did my oil change. I had 10,000 miles on my truck since my last one, and it's only been 2 years. I'm only putting on 5,000 a year, if So
How do you look?
I mean, I forgot to do it last year. So
How did it look when you drained it?
it was black.
Mhm.
I didn't drain it. My buddy did it for me. So, but the oil. I mean, it wasn't dirty, but it wasn't clean. It was dark. I'll just say it was dark. And so I got it. So I figured that the books. I mean, they say on my truck, even it's a 97. I think it's either in the book or I read it somewhere that they say every 5,000 miles. I mean, when I grew up, you always changed your vehicles every 3,000. Where that number come from, I'm not sure, but that's the way it always was growing up. But even at 5,000, right? It's going to be a year in between oil changes, because that's basically all I drive in a year. But what I'm saying is,
it didn't say or so much time. It just said
well,
mile.
I'm not sure. Be honest with you, I don't know. I need to go read it.
Yeah, you should look it up just for curiosity. So
Yeah, because
mine said,
yeah.
Mine gives a mileage, and then it says whether it's extreme driving or normal driving, and then it gives a different mileage for extreme driving, less mileage, and then on top of that, it also has a time. So yeah, that's to my knowledge pretty much standard. So although the extreme driving was a new one for me, I've only seen the recommended mileage and then the time frame, or this mileage or so long. But Subaru throws in on top of that like extreme driving, and then they define extreme driving, so which is cold weather, I think, like dusty off-road environments, stuff like that and whatnot. So then that reduces it even more. So but I still even go less than what they recommend. So I got my own personal standards.
Hey, Rob can't do any extreme driving in that Subaru, and that's from Squibload. Hey, Squibload, ain't seen you in ages. Good to see you. But anyway,
figures.
So I'm going to have to research time on oil changes since I don't drive a lot. But it's pretty sad. I cancel an appointment because I just don't want to drive to Jasper. And,
it is.
I mean, really, it's 12 miles.
12 miles?
Yeah.
Oh, you lazy son of a...
Wow. I mean...
Wow.
Yeah,
what is
I
that?
just don't want to drive down
the drive, not even... What the hell?
I go to Jasper and I think, oh, God, I got to go to Jasper. All I want to do is hang around here, go down to the diner, go with my friends. I'm good to go. I don't need to be out there doing whatever. I'm content with just, I only go when I absolutely, like Friday's payday for me, this coming Friday. So normally I do my main shopping when I get paid Friday. I buy as much as I can, to get me mainly through. I have to go out and buy salads and shit like that, and bread and milk, and to keep the fresh, the perishable stuff I got to keep replacing. But the bulk stuff I can buy all in one go. And I'll drive to Jasper then, and I'm thinking, oh, God, I got to drive to Jasper. And I even did, how I do it now is I treat myself to on Fridays on the way back. I'll treat myself. I'll stop off and pick up a Chinese. That's my treat for driving to Jasper.
Well, you gotta stop it. You don't deserve a treat for driving 12 miles.
Hey, it's 12
Nor should
miles
you
there and 12 miles
justify
back. So
every
it's actually,
time you gotta go to the
so it's
store
actually
justify
24.
the treat. Like that's you
Yeah.
can't justify
That's
just going to the store as a treat.
That's about 1.5 gallons of gas, by the way.
Like when you walk around the block, then you treat yourself.
Squib says, ironic that that this Friday they take money out of my paycheck to put it on Rick's paycheck. He's talking about his taxes and his Social Security. Hey, that's life. That's okay, Rick. No one goes to Jasper anymore. You're about right. Jasper is starting to I don't know. How can I put it? It's starting to get liberalized. It's starting to lean left. But a Chinese mill, Tony, not it wasn't know what kind of when I say Chinese, what am I talking about? You guys need to get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, now that would be a treat.
Yeah.
But
I get a
still
Chinese
wouldn't
mill.
justify for just going to the store. Like that's what you're supposed to do anyway. You treat yourself when you do something extra.
But I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny that I mean, like when I drive there, and I sit there and I'm thinking, God damn it, what a bunch of asshole drivers I'm got in front of me, and I'm becoming that goddamn old man. You know what I'm saying? That
yes, you are.
it's terrible, and I don't like it. I need to break out and do more shit.
I've been telling you that for years, Rick. And then you're like, yeah, no, but I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Exactly, I don't want to.
Right. Well, what the hell are you doing? You're talking out both sides of your mouth here.
I need to, but I don't want to. See, that's the thing. I need to do it, but I don't want to do it.
So you're saying you need some YouTube buddies to show up, kidnap you, and take you like to motivation camp, drag you behind a van or something for a couple miles, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, like
you just almost to death, and then at the end we'll give you some Chinese.
Here's a good example. The reunion I went to on Sunday, right? It's in Birdseye, which is 4 miles, right? Since I told you guys, that's all that's been in the back of my head going, oh, God, I got to go to the reunion. Got to go to the reunion. Even when I was getting dressed to go, I'm going, oh, God. I drive down there, but once I'm there, I have a great time. It's getting there is the hard part. I mean, like you said, I should have never canceled that doctor's appointment. Now had that X-ray. It takes you're in there less than 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big hospital where you're waiting for hours to get an X-ray. It's even done by an appointment, so I know that I ain't going to be sitting there long.
Now, back when you worked, I don't know if you can remember back then.
Yes, I can. It wasn't that long ago.
But back when you worked, wasn't there mornings you got up and you were just like, damn, I don't want to go in today. Yeah, you just don't feel like it.
I had many a morning like that.
But you went in, right?
Yes.
You sucked it up. You pulled the man pants on and you handled your business.
Yeah, you're right. But I think what it is,
got to find that again.
Is I don't get a lot, but I know that I don't have to work because I got my disability check. But it's and I keep pissing
Yeah,
how
but
little I
it's not.
get.
It's
So
that
is
is
there a
an
correlation
example
there?
of just doing something you didn't want to do. You know what I mean? You just, you got to, some things you just got to, it's better just to get it done. So, like, don't even put it off. Just do it right now because you know yourself. And if you don't want to do it,
Tony
so
understands.
you're not going to get done. Yeah.
Tony
Yeah.
York understands. See, he goes, I will avoid driving if I can. I effing hate driving anymore. That is how I feel. So now, I mean,
You guys are just doing it wrong.
If you said, if you lived down the road and you said, Rick, we're going to Jasper, I'll swing by and pick you up. I'm with you. I'll go. But the thought of me driving there just, oh God.
But you said it's 12 miles. Like, people run more than that.
It's 12 miles each way, so that's 24.
There's been days where I know I personally probably walked more than 20 plus miles easy. That's just walking, let alone I've ridden a bike over 60 miles straight. Like, this
hey,
is
I'm starting to feel like
just
that
sitting on your butt for 10 minutes, man.
I'm starting to feel like that stripper. You guys are picking on me.
Oh gosh.
Hey, but no, I do. I mean, I don't want to do it, but I need to do it. I mean, it'd be better for me mentally, keep the old brain sharp, health wise, going out, even if I'm driving to Jasper and walking around. It's got to be better than just sitting here or sitting down at the diner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At least my blood will be pumping, if you know what I mean, from exertion. So.
Yeah, well, you could make friends with that stripper. Could get your blood pumping a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing my luck, she's moving out because I said I ain't seen her for about a week. The only reason because I go past where she lives and you can tell or if her car's there or not when you ride by.
You know where she's at. The whole town knows where she's at.
Oh yeah. Scribload says, "Get a job." If I mean, I was thinking about that the other day, going back into the workforce.
And then you fell back to your excuses where you can't stand, I can't sit, I can't do this, I can't do that. Wham!
Shame I live in the Midwest, right in the center. Otherwise I could be a dock worker.
No, you couldn't. You got to be practical. You got to be a dock worker.
Yeah, but I tell you what I do. I mean, is trying to find. I would.
Could easily be a meat cutter, especially with hunting season coming up.
I know. I told you. I cannot stand for hours, and I can't sit for hours. That's the problem.
So you get one of them stools where you're not truly sitting, but you're not standing either. Aha. Aha.
Yeah. Mind you, I do. But I think I was born for retirement. I really do because I mean, I thoroughly enjoy it going to bed when I want and getting up when I want. But I do have a routine. I get up 7 days a week. I am up, showered, and dressed by 8:00 in the morning. Every day. So I might not do anything. I mean, if I go anywhere, but normally if I don't go anywhere, I'll change back out of my clothes and put my lounge around the house clothes on. Why ruin your clothes just sitting around the house? So.
I'll let you in on a little secret, Rick. So, people that sit around and do nothing, especially in old age, end up dead really quick.
Yes, I know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately too.
I can come up with several examples of neighbors I've had, this or that, where they work, they volunteered, all this, and then maybe due to a slip and fall injury, they get stuck around the house, nothing serious. 2 years later, they're dead. They're just, they're just you don't do nothing with yourself. You're just giving up on life. Like your body picks up on that stuff. Like I don't know. We're getting crazy talk here, but
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
your aura,
Now,
whatever you want to call it,
you've
your
heard me-
soul. Like when you give up, you give up. So things
Yeah.
break down and it's done. So
I
you
guess
got
maybe I'm
something to
talking
push
like
for.
this because
Go
I'm.
chase Bigfoot, do a garden. Chase the
Yeah,
local stripper. I don't know. You need a goal.
yeah. Maybe I'm talking like this to telling on myself because subconsciously I know. I mean, you've heard me joke in the past. How many fat 90-year-olds have you seen? You know what I'm saying?
That's all you're saying. That, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even just that. I mean, you could be, skinny and active, but once you stop doing stuff, once you stop being active and getting out and social, that's when people go downhill quick.
Uh, lounge around the house clothes equal birthday suit. It's got some barbecue. Hey, I'm not denying I've done that. Now think of that picture, guys. Burn that into your brain. What a sight that would be if you saw it. Anyway, that's
Did you hear about that?
That's even made Rob quiet.
You hear about that what is it, 40 some odd foot statue of Trump naked next to the
Yeah.
highway?
Yeah.
That you're talking about, naked around the high got me thinking. So but that's kind of funny. I think not funny, but not ha funny, but just strange. I bet you they probably wouldn't grant a permit for you to do the same thing on the other side of the highway with Biden. So
Oh no. I know they would.
somebody could try it just to point out the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's a shame. I was talking when I was talking to my friend this morning. I did go over to my friend's house this morning, sit around and BS. What you call it is, I don't want to get. Damn, it's gone 8 o'clock already. Even if our man wins, which he should, but we saw what happened in 2020. That's all I'm going to say. I got a feeling the country is still going to be divided. I don't know if it's ever going to be back to like it was. But there you go. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Uninformed voters out there, and
there's a lot of them.
The media brainwashing society and people being gullible nowadays. It's eventually it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Eventually.
What's killed it is the 24-hour news cycle. Because before these the evening news, 6 o'clock news, the reporters or the commentators they told you what was going on. It wasn't an opinion. They just read the news as it was. They didn't give their opinion of what it is. And that's what's happened. There's every mainstream or legacy media, whatever you want to call them, it's 99% of it is slanting in one direction. So all you're getting is that's their view, their opinion of what's happening. and you got, and I don't even call it a conservative channel, not anymore. But take Fox for instance. They used to lean right, but since 99% is leaning left, they keep saying, well, Fox is lying. And I mean, it's, like 5 against 1. But, but then again, Fox, if you look at all the reports that come out, Fox News is winning all, viewership figures every month without fail. So makes you wonder.
I think the problem is leaning. Doesn't matter what way. Just report the facts as they're known, and
like they used to in the old days.
I mean, it could be simple, but then they start losing money, and nobody wants to lose money. And they lose the brainwashing power that's being used probably and benefited from by other aspects. And
they went to the 24-hour news cycle, so they had to fill the time with something. So they start giving people shows saying talk about the news, like the way Rick sees it type thing, because my show here, it's all slanted the way I want it to be. I can see how it happens, but there we go. Anyway, it's gone 8 o'clock. I'm going to cook myself some hamburgers tonight. Going something different. I think it was pizza last time. Going to have hamburgers tonight. So there we go. But I got to do my quiz. I was going to say we got to do the drawing tonight because I said I'd do it on the 2nd. And some sort of sports drink.
Whatever, some crap drink, yeah.
Yeah. Meant to make you feel good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't have to do. Today was the drawing of the quiz, but I don't have to do a drawing because I only had one entry. You've all had 4 weeks to come up with my quiz. I got one entry. And all I wanted to know was the name of the real name of the horse John Wayne rode. And I think it was his last 6 or 7 movies, he used the same horse in the last 6 or 7 movies he did. And the horse's name, the real name was Rodeo, is what I was looking for. So, and we know who my winner is. The guy that wins nearly 10 times out of 12 a year. Jacob S. is the winner. He was the only one that entered, so that makes him the winner. So there we go. But I do have a question for this month's quiz. And this one's even easier than the last one.
Is it another movie?
What?
Is it another movie or what gun? I think this is the problem, Rick. I've been telling you for years, but yeah.
Well, I keep asking people. I keep saying to people, if you got something I could use, send it to me. But nobody ever does. All right. So the next drawing will be on the 6th of November. That's the first Wednesday of the month. So there we go. Day after the election. That's right, because the election day is the 5th, right? Yeah, so day after the election, I will be here. Hopefully I'll be in a great mood. But we'll see. Yeah. So be honest with you, somebody else gave me this question. It's a Western, but it's where it comes from. But it's gun related. But it is gun related. So there you go. And this quiz is in the 1966 movie El Dorado.
Wasn't even alive, Rick. Wasn't even alive.
I was. This is the what you call it. His character in the movie. He's the one who name was Bull. He blew the horn. Old Indian fighter. I want to know the make, model, and all that of the firearm he used. That's it. You know? Yeah. So that's what I want to know. The make and model of the firearm he used in that movie. So there we go. Email me at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So that's it. It's all I need. So you weren't even alive then. Hell, how old was I? 10. No, 9. So, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm calling it quits. I'm closing it down. I'm going to go eat. So I want to say, you got any closing statements or plugs or anything you want to do?
No. Thanks for joining us, people. Yeah, stay cool and push yourself. Don't be like Rick and be like, I don't care about my health because I don't want to drive in my comfortable vehicle for 12 miles
each way.
Ooh, 24 miles. Okay, so a half hour of your time isn't worth your life.
I know.
Don't be like Rick. Don't be like Rick, folks. Eat a salad.
Don't be like me.
Kick life's ass because as they say, tomorrow's never guaranteed. So
I didn't.
You're back every.
But I did reschedule. It's
all excuses and more bullshit.
I have rescheduled.
I don't want to hear this shit.
So anyway, don't do what I do. That's all I'm saying. So I want to say thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.